looking around. I figured out one of the plot lines I was going to look up and go back to before moving forward. I decided not to because it leads to the death of a little girl or possibly the death of two. So it was like, yeah, let me just leave that alone and like let them not die. But this is where we left off. So let's just move forward.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Oh, I know, I know. You think now to betray me.
No, but you will never listen. I tell you, I will not forget our adage.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open.
Fear the old blood. I must take my leave.
Gods, fear it, Lawrence.
But yeah, sort of like with the cleric beast, this is sort of up to saying where to go next. So I'll just speed that along. So like this is where I thought before. I never really noticed it. I guess this might just be the compression for the live stream. It's like neon blood. Alright. But from here, you're generally supposed to go back down the stairs. Oh, I forgot to explore over here. Okay, it's like everyone trying to kill me day. But the general idea is to go down here.
The password.
I just love like the little simple message. And the idea is like, yeah, it's like I just love the simple message of like he's already dead. Like, yeah, you think. But yeah, I forgot to go through an area over here, so let me just quickly go through that. But generally, if you go through here the sort of proper way, I wouldn't say proper way, but like if you go through that's the obvious way is to pay for the key for this entrance here. You're always supposed to go sideways over here. And these enemies seem really easy, but partly that's because this is the area you're supposed to explore quite some levels ago.
You're not from around here, are you? Well, an outsider who's come to you, what? What, you think I'm a beast? And step away from my car? Oh, enough. What, you think this is? Well, I'll have nothing to do with you, beast. Oh, enough with you already. Oh, enough.
Oh my, what a queer scent. But I'll take it over the stench of blood and beasts any day. What is it then? I'm off during hunts, and besides, this is no place for ladies. Wouldn't want to drag you down too. Oh, thank goodness. Might you know of a safe place tonight, little love? Please, then. Oh, thank you. Perhaps I'll see.
Right now I'm just trying to populate Odin's chapel.
What's this? I heard you told that wench about some... Well, she's a damn fool to trust her. No, why? Alright, you think I'm a... Yeah, sorry. Too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders. Even then...
I should recall, I think you have to lie to him to get him to go to other areas. He's a tricky one. And not really right now. Again, I leveled up. But his little rake thing is,
Help me! Help me!
oh, that's a black church got tire.
My baby! My baby!
I forgot how many enemies there were right there. Yeah, I do know you clear out this area. Usually you get it right after you spawn in. And go through the main gate. Next we're going to an area that reminds you, like, this game in general reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 4 in terms of like, not play style necessarily, but it's like the vibe. But not just a horror element, but just like the general design of the enemies. Get something up here. Nope. But yeah, generally go over here and right. Wrong area. Last. No, it was the right area, just forgot to take a look. But yeah, go through here, then you go down to this area where... And you find out more easily the one guy's here by now. I don't think when I summoned him I might have killed him off for good, I'm not sure. Checking that later. Right now the main thing is you go through this forest area, and the game, like I said, tonally... When I say tonally, it means it's just the horror elements reminding me somewhat of Resident Evil 4, but also just like the play style. For like the majority of the enemies are like not... Are so like medium difficulty, where like... Individually, they're not hard. Like when they're in groups of 4 or 5, they're quite challenging. And like I said, it sort of is the same vibe here. Then like this area in particular, especially when you get to this one section, you'll see what I mean. Reminds you a lot of Resident Evil 4, just like the opening segment. I mean. The other segments are well remembered, but I think it's the opening village segment that really everyone remembers. And this really has the same vibes. But let's see. But after I go through the next bonfire, I'm going to quickly go back and actually level up, particularly my handgun, Ludwig's rifle. Alright. First you fire. That might be useful. Not bludgeon. Just most the triangle ones are mostly useful for firearms and a few odd weapons. I'm gonna have to try to go add those to this weapon. But yeah, just like worn down village in the middle of a sort of swamp-like area. Yeah, this very much Resident Evil 4's setting. Not exactly sure how effective these are. Because my current weapon is more for arcane builds. So a lot of that is for physical fortification. Let's see. Yeah, very, very slight increase of power. Ah, alright. Time to level up and go into the Resident Evil
Welcome. What is
swamp.
it? Very well, let me.
Call. One of those guys allows me to customize my little messengers. Ah, here it is. I think. Yep. Alright. Yeah, this is something I've completely forgot my first, actually, up until this playthrough. Give them custom hats. So all of you Valve players will be amused. Let's see. Forbidden Woods. I like to call them the Resident Evil Woods. The thing I want to play through right now is to get to like the next two, let's say at least one shortcut. The reasons why I call this Resident Evil Woods: number one, creepy swamp loaf, medieval, creepy swamp filled with religious in various stages of decay. Number two, I call it Resident Evil Woods: booby traps. You have to watch out for those. careful because I think there's one guy, they throw oil at you, and if you haven't noticed, all these people are carrying torches. I'm not exactly sure if I was hit by the oil, so I have to be careful around the fire. But yeah, this area just gives me a lot of Resident Evil vibes. Doesn't help that there's a whole bunch in this area of the villagers already killed them, or they killed themselves, or we don't know where that red stuff comes from. Speaking of booby traps, there's one right there. Sometimes a little delay when they die when you get your rewards. The only thing I hate about this is where you can enchant your weapons with like elemental damage, like fire or electric, but you only really see it after they after you hit enemies. Compared if you're using like flame paper or flame or thunder paper, then it actually adds a little effect to it. I can trigger this without actually going in it. Nope. No, I'll have antidotes, that'll be useful. Speaking of, though, like I said, I'll get more of the Resident Evil stuff later. I have to get to the next next point for that. But besides this area of particular, like, forgot about that area. See, booby trap. I'd like to activate it because of yeah, in general, it's like the way the difficult design is for this game, or difficulty is in the number of enemies, how they swarm you, than individual one-on-one battles at the time. That individual one-on-one battle with a sword and shield was like what really defined Dark Souls. This one, combat's more aggressive and fast-paced. There's also one area you might often overlook. There's a cave, which I'll go into later. It's more of a, not in-game, but pre-in-game thing to visit. Right now there's a key event, which I need to wait for it to really be triggered. And my first old magic item. Use those, and some other item like for this game is magic. It's not super developed, but somewhat. On the other subject of this video, sixth season of MLP. That's because mostly I got this idea to talk about this after today's episode. It's progressed the plot more than I thought it would in a lot. Which may beg the question of when the next season will come out. Which is odd because normally I would just say a year, not even a year, but like, yeah, pretty much a year after like the last season. Oh yeah, a little trick from here. You notice that a little water looks a little murky. That's because the water is flammable. Surprising range. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that this being an oil affects this weapon because 1600 damage is rather high. But as you see, I was going with the season, I was saying, almost a year after. However, with this break in between seasons that happened, we have one season that's stretching on pretty far, but also in the Comic-Con, we sort of already learned that they're recording lines for the next season already. Which is very odd because it's convenient. Then we're already recording lines, and that was in July. That probably means they're done with the storyboarding. Probably within a few months after that. Let's play a game called Cannon. Oh, this is a great glitch. That was not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be one, but like I was doing a stream, that was hilarious. Alright. So again, if they're recording lines in July, that usually means it's probably a few months after that, like 2 to 3. You got most of the storyboards done. John Delancey just confirmed that he just got a script though. So I'm thinking they might just break up the season like they did this time and have like a break in between. That's true, that might just be the second half of the season that he was getting lines for because the rest of the staff had earlier. Alright. Got to unlock the first step. But overall, I'm thinking that we might get it sooner, possibly right where the season 5 launch this year, which would be like April. Then we'll have a break over the summer like we did this time, and then come back. Yeah, remember I was mentioning the other Resident Evil elements? Yeah. Alive. shoot, I forgot to buy one of the most important items, and there's a little lamp you can get that lights everything up without worrying about a torch. Let's see, I'm focused on the shortcut right now. Because there actually is 2 shortcuts through here, but this is the first one that's going to... Let's see, I'm focused on the shortcut right now. Because there actually is 2 shortcuts through here, but this is the first one that's going to be to... shortcut A. Again, there's a reason people hate crows in this game. I think I'll go back and try and unlock the second shortcut. But yeah, I'm thinking like they're recording lines right now, so probably in the oh, they're already apparently recording lines. Besides John Delancey, which even his might have just been delayed for season, so they might just break it up. So I'm thinking, at least hoping April. Otherwise,
welcome home, good hunter. What is it you did?
I don't think they'll release it over summer because that's a dead zone for shows, like it or not.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
Yeah, one of the other most useful items are here. This lamp. Luckily I do have access of these things. Now you don't have to worry about light. Also a good item is to have where you just, when you don't want to accidentally hit the square button and use an item. Because this, it's unlimited, so there's nothing to worry about wasting. Yeah, I'm thinking like they'll probably try again for April, then have a break again over the summer, then come back and for what they're doing now. Maybe not as long a break as they had, but I don't know. Because otherwise they would have to wait till after summer, which if they're starting like to actually be recording lines and all that sooner than ever, and then they're releasing later than ever, doesn't really make sense. So I'm thinking they'll have season 6 again right around April or May. Time to use a shortcut. and go from there. This is possibly the most maze-like area in the game. Because, yeah, even just looking from afar, it looks like a freaking maze. And there's snakes everywhere. What the world needs. But actually, I think I'm going to call it quits right now. Just because I have a meeting coming, a hangout meeting coming out shortly on Google Hangouts. And this area might take a good hour or so. Because, yeah, like I said, maze. Filled with snakes. So, until next time.